morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, thrice good morning, and good morning again. Welcome to Elevensies with Lisa and Anton. I am Anton.
That means I must be Lisa.
Brilliant. Brilliant! So
by power of elimination.
So we should be in the right place. Let me go over to our fine and dandy YouTube studio so we can see who's joining us and what's going on today, because we love to know these things. If I can only make my computer work. It says which says we're working. Look at that. It's as if by magic. So if you're joining us, do please say hello. Say hello.
Hello on this fine Monday morning.
It is. We did send out a little note. I see people are in fact joining us. It takes a little while.
You sent out a note?
Well, just I posted, but not too long ago. so people won't have had opportunity to set a reminder. But you should know it's Monday morning at 11 o'clock, and therefore it is 11.
It is 11s, yes.
Unless we are otherwise indisposed or, generally can't be bothered. I suppose there is that.
Right.
Coffee is necessary. So what is the fun stuff? Hello, Mike. Good morning to you. See, somebody's found us already. It's all good. Excellent.
Well, I thought today we usually talk about what's happening astrologically.
We try.
My favorite subject. I know that most people think the tarot is my favorite subject, and I will say that tarot is really up there on my list.
It is.
I am always learning something, and I'm always fascinated by the tarot. In fact, yesterday, Mary Kay Greer posted something that I thought was absolutely fascinating. You saw it, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I did share it on the Awareness Shop's Facebook page, because that's where she had posted on her Facebook page, that there was something from a police documentary movie that she was watching, and it talked about the blind man carrying a lantern at night. And he was questioned, and they said, "Why are you carrying this lantern at night if you can't even see?" And he said, "Well, I may not be able to see, but I'm carrying this light to light the way for others." And she pointed out that when you look at the hermit card, carrying the lantern, the light for others, his eyes are closed. So you see, you can read the tarot for 40 years and you can still learn something or see something that you didn't see previously.
Suddenly jumps out at you when the time is right. Yeah.
And I find that happens in readings too, where, like Anton, one of your examples is the 9 of coins, where one time in a reading, all of a sudden that little snail appeared.
Yeah, just leapt out at me. Oh, hello. You're important.
Hi, Donna.
Hello, Donna, and happy Monday to you too.
I left you a message.
A massage.
We're playing phone tag.
Here is your massage.
So yeah, there's always something to learn. There's always something new to look at, or a new way of looking at something. And I do follow different astrologers. Certainly, I always tell people to read Susan Miller's astrology, astrologyzone.com.
She is very good. Yeah.
She's very good. Yeah. She's always late, though, because it's a free column, and I understand how hard it is.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Time gets away from us repeatedly.
So, you can't accuse me of stealing her work to put in my tarot scope, because I wrote my tarot scopes for the month yesterday, and her astrology might be out by the 4th or something like that. So that's how that goes. But this new moon that's coming is going to really kind of set a beautiful tone for the 6 weeks, right? So we have the Rowan Aquarius New Moon, and it is going to talk for that 6 weeks, really. Imbolc, Gwyl Mare, is also the same week.
This is the start of the Chinese lunar new
year
as well,
yes.
Yeah?
The Rowan New Moon, or the Aquarius New Moon, is the start of the Chinese New Year, and that happens on February 1st. And that is bringing in the year of the water tiger, and I'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'm one of them.
And then when the sun... You are a water tiger.
I am a water tiger.
And it's 12-year increments, which means...
No, shh.
It's going to be the big
No,
60.
no, I'm still young.
The small S, 60. My brother's going to be the big S, 70. But anyway, so Imbolc occurs when the sun is at 15 degrees Aquarius, or Gwyl Mare in our tradition. And that's on the 4th. And so we look at both of those happenings not as just that one instant, but as a time stamp for a period of time in astrology, right? So what's coming and what will that yield, right? We can't just say, well, the new moon on the 1st and it's only good for that day.
Well, no.
No, it's going to be very powerful for the 2 weeks while the moon is waxing till we get to the full moon. And it's also going to speak until we get to the next new moon. So that's a 4-week period, right?
2 fortnights.
And then the Sabbat, Gwyl Mare, Imbolc, at 15 degrees Aquarius, is going to speak until Ostara, or Alban Eiler. So the Sabbats have a 6-week energy, and the moon phases have a 2-week, 4-week, right? If you understand, like the new moon to full moon is a 2-week period where that new moon's energy is intense, and then it still works with the full moon that comes later.
It's interesting, just as an aside, a word that's in very common use, certainly in England, I don't hear it too much over here, but is fortnight. No, I was away for a fortnight, he's got a fortnight off work, whatever. What the hell's a fortnight? Well, it is literally 14 nights, which is the time it takes from the moon to go from new to full, or from full back to new. A fortnight, so it's kind of important.
It's not just a time for a vacation.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's measured in nights. It's not always off a fort day. It's fortnight. It's 14 nights.
Well, the cool. Celtic calendar really does work on evening events, lunar events. So
yeah. So there you go. So yeah, but it's spring though, isn't it?
Yeah,
spring.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. First, I thought I would talk a little bit about the water tiger.
Talk about me.
So, water tiger. So now, obviously, the Chinese New Year runs for a year, and it'll be till the next new moon that happens in the beginning of February.
2023.
Or the very end of January. I have to go look. I didn't look that far ahead.
It does vary, doesn't it?
But by about 2 weeks. So, when you look at water tiger, what kind of comes to mind, like anytime we look at a new language, and Chinese astrology is a newer language for me. Obviously, it's well over 5,000 years old, their practice of astrology. So I think they've got it going on. They know what they're doing. But for me, it's a new language. So whenever I look at some sort of new thing, like whatever it happens to be, palmistry, or what's the matter?
We're just losing the spammer.
Oh, whether it's palmistry or any other kind of divination tool, tarot, whatever it is, I always tell people, think of a language you already know and use that language to decipher, to figure out this other language, this other cipher.
Make it back into plain text, eh?
So Chinese astrology, Chinese astrology uses like shamanic power animal in my language, right? Tiger. And it also uses an element. Their elements are a little different than Wiccan elements, but water is still water, right? They have wood and metal, but we have, right, spirit kind of thing. Okay.
I don't know much about feng shui elements. It's too
right.
complicated.
No, feng shui is fascinating.
I know enough to be moderately dangerous, and I think that's about positively dangerous.
So when we were working on stuff for Magical Year or Candle Club or whatever, Danny said, I've been doing a lot of looking into water tiger, and I don't know what to say. I don't know how to write about it. And I said, well, in the language you understand. Look at water tiger as Pisces.
Oh dear.
Leo energy.
Oh, bloody dear. That was my parents. My dad was a Leo and my mum was a Pisces, bless them. They got on famously. They really did.
They did, because they have something in common. Drama. Right?
What are you saying?
Pisces is the most...
I'm getting a bum rap here. I'm just getting a bum
there's
rap.
good and bad to every sign, but Pisces is the most dramatic sign of the zodiac.
Okay.
And Leo is the second.
Well, some would argue it's the other way around. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, Pisces doesn't want everybody to see their drama. Leo hails people to look. Yes. Okay.
What's a performance?
Yes, performance art. Absolutely.
It's dramatic arts.
That is a great way to say it, because both of those signs are also the most creative.
Wow,
Right?
okay, yeah.
Leo loves,
I am an actor.
Leo loves color. Do you think Leo loves
maybe.
color?
Well, come on, you bought me this.
I did,
You
but
bought me the
I
shirt.
bought you it
I love
because
it.
I know you would love it. Yeah.
Well, you know.
So Leo loves color. Leo loves all the arts, sound, and and they're very, because of that heightened energy of drama, they're very in tune with what's going on. And Pisces is also an extremely creative sign, very in tune with layers of things. So both of these signs have the ability to see beneath the surface, to go a little bit deeper. And Pisces is more willing to sacrifice themselves to help others, where Leo will help others, but they kind of want to be first because they're a fire sign.
That's
So
all about me.
I'll blaze the trail, you can follow me.
Follow me, men!
Where Pisces says, I want to empower you. But if we put these two things together, yes, we are in for quite a dramatic ride. But dramatic in the way that we would see amazing things, beautiful things, incredible cultural change, music, what people appreciate, poetry, what books are being written.
We need to get back on the stick there.
Yeah, but all these kinds of things have this energy of water tiger kind of saying, this is how to do this. This is how to appreciate this. This is how to deliver this, right? Now, there's going to be drama, right? Where no pain, no gain kind of thing. But if you get on board with it and you look deeper into it and you learn to appreciate and pull forward, no matter what sign you are, pull forward your creativity and your ability to read between the lines and your ability to go deep emotionally for yourself and for others. I think this will be a very, very healing year. Because people probably won't feel so isolated. They will feel connected through the arts to others.
And the arts are wonderful. I mean, without art, Earth would just be, quite literally, EH, minus the ART. But art is such a beautiful thing, and if you think about it, music is it transcends language. You don't need to be able to speak music to be able to appreciate music. It
Universal
gets,
language, isn't it?
It gets into your bones. It does, and you can have beautiful video, but without music, it's like whatever. I know if you guys, blatant plug, if you saw the time lapse when Lisa and I got up before sunrise at the solstice, and we bimbled up to the overlook, and any excuse to get the drone out and what have you. So we did like a time lapse and sort of panned around the beautiful area, and just by itself you think, oh well, that's nice and sort of whatever, but we stuck behind it some music, didn't we?
From
Circle in a Box, of course. And I think it was Mike that was saying, wow, that's really, really nice. And
but look at the two people.
What about them?
Who did a lot of the studio and production work? A Leo.
Yes.
And a Pisces.
Cole, fabulous. What a talented producer and musician, I have to tell you. Ridiculous. Went to Juilliard, don't you know?
Oh my. So you can see that, you can feel that energy, right? Mm-hmm. Again, drama doesn't have to be negative. look at we love to go to the theater. We love to watch a period drama. Drama doesn't have to be like Drama Llama, although there may be some of that involved. Right? You might see people annoying people. You might see people slamming doors and being angry with people. So whatever emotion is coming forward will probably be visible.
Yes,
right?
Maybe not so subtle. A little bit of a dramatic edge.
Well,
to
no,
it.
I think you will see drama playing out in government. I think you'll see drama playing out in the medical field. I think you'll see drama in your life in general. But that doesn't mean it has to be bad.
Right.
What's Mike saying now?
Have you got to order your CD? Oh, I have got to order your CD. Love that music. Do you know we know this store that sells it, Mike?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It doesn't suck.
It is very much like the ritual that we did for the Prosperity Circle or the Healing Circle. So there's all of the parts to it with a 9-minute section where you can do whatever work you want to do in that 9 minutes. In fact, there's some really interesting coded stuff, and I was thinking about this morning because I was looking at the video that we just promoted, and I thought, okay, well, I was adding up the numbers, how long this video is, and does it come to a 9? And there is a secret formula to circle in a box, which makes it even more valuable magically. All of the tracks,
everything,
add up to 9.
It's not just all of the tracks; it's everything.
It's everything, right?
Everything.
So if each track, it might be 54 seconds. That's a 9, or it might be 4 minutes 90 seconds. That's a 9, or it might be 3 minutes and 33 seconds, or 3 minutes and 60 seconds. But every single track adds up to a 9. The entire album is 54 minutes, which is a 9. And each of the tracks that have a special number that's encoded for
ISRC codes, the International Song Recording Code, it's sound recording code. It has it's like the unique watermark, so it can be identified for
like
copyright
an ISBN
purposes.
for a book.
Exactly, yeah, it's exactly that. But every single one of those adds up to 9.
Adds up to a 9. So when you add that whole stream of numbers, it adds up to a 9. And that took some doing.
Oh, we were cursed.
But we wanted it.
I'll do it.
But we wanted it to be
not impossible. I'll do it.
Yeah, we wanted it to. But in a sense, you see, that's that Leo work ethic or that Pisces drive. So the two of them, they had to have it that way, and that was perfect for me, the witch, because.
It's not just that. It's every single repetitions, musical repetitions, layers, harmonies, all that. Everything, every aspect of everything that has a numerical value to it adds up to, even down to the beats per minute. All right, adds up to 9. And,
so that's circle in a box.
That's for those of you that don't know. Now you do. We've given you away a big secret, but. It's kind of cool, but you would never know. You would not know, because just listening to it by itself, it's
just a beautiful piece.
Oh, it's a serenely gorgeous piece of music, and I have to be slightly immodest. Lisa's voice does not suck, let me tell you.
I know all the female voices on that CD. Every single one of them is me. That was so much fun.
Get to sing harmony with yourself.
Here, sing this line now. Okay, record that. Now sing this line now. Record that. And then there's like, I don't know, it's 9 layers to the charge of the goddess.
There absolutely are. Yeah. It's fantastic that you can do that in a studio. That we had the luxury and the time to be able to literally lay it down a little piece at a time. We had this idea, and we just explored a lot of ideas. And and then
we wrote the.
And we had a lava lamp in the studio too, which is essential. Yes.
And then we wrote the charge to the god, modified that, and then we paired the music to go with Ancient Mother. We wrote the Stag of the Greenwood.
Mm-hmm. And the wonderful thing is they lay over each other. To form a musical bed upon which Chalice and Blade is performed. Ha ha. And so it's kind of cool in that respect.
There's just so much, again, and that's that Leo Pisces energy that I'm talking about. On the surface, it's one thing. just beneath the surface, it's another thing. Dive a little deeper, you get more out of it. So it's very, very much an esoteric work, where the more you're going to look, the more you're going to see.
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
more you're going to feel, the more you're going to understand, right? So, yes, it's fantastic to do ritual with, but it's also just fantastic to listen to the charge of the goddess and see what steps out for you to notice, just like noticing that little snail or the hermit's eyes.
There's nothing in that CD that's there by accident.
There's nothing on the tarot that's there by accident.
And everything is cunningly put together. Also, don't listen to it on something rubbish. There's so much effort been put into the musical landscape there that it's worth investing, if nothing else, in a decent pair of headphones. Because and the one thing, please, the magical meditation, don't listen to that in the car.
Oh, okay? Don't be driving.
You're gonna wind up in a bus garage or whatever.
No, because that's
how the hell did I get here?
That's doing that weird flipping.
Excuse me. Yeah, there are psychoacoustics in it, and it will get you. It will get you.
You don't.
There's a word for it. They call it some whatever response. I have to look it up. If you know, chime in. Put it in the chat here. If you know what that is.
But definitely do not listen to the magical meditation while driving.
Yeah, it's
no.
spooky and cool and wonderful and lovely. But take the time to where you can actually participate in the meditation, where you can shut your eyes and let yourself get lost.
Yeah. And for those of you who have been listening to the rituals, who have participated in the prosperity ritual or the healing ritual,
yes.
We are burning the candles right now. The wealth and abundance candle and the healing candle. So those 3 candles are in our cauldron, and we will burn them periodically when we're in here to be able to, I was going to say control, but energize, express. That's the problem with English. There's not the right word sometimes.
You have to make your words up, don't you? Well,
yeah.
I do.
To support the burning of the candle. That's what we're here for, I guess. Support's a good word.
Well, it's really interesting because it's just like this has become our magical space. I mean, yes, it is. It's built as our studio, and we've got lights, and we put some acoustic treatment up so it doesn't sound like we're in a dustbin anymore.
Yeah, but we've tricked it out with the spiritual energy.
But it's just and so we keep mixing it up with our our magical space and our studio. But it is it doesn't mean one can't be one without the other. I mean, there's an awful lot of music and math is the same thing, but I don't know anybody who gets dead emotional about a quadratic equation.
Well, I don't know.
But there's at least one person out there that
Albert
totally
Einstein
has to be.
Got passionate about his math.
Yeah, look at the memes he wrote. No, no, seriously. But music and math is the same thing. It really is. It's all about interval and frequency and rhythm and when you start to go into the esoterics of it and dig in there, your head could hurt. But if you just feel it, it's amazing. It's amazing. You can feel it. It does. It connects with you very strongly. Anyway, blatant plug for a circle in a box. But we were we were talking about Imbolc and Gwyl Mare and all that fun. I think that's what we were supposed to.
We were talking about that, and I wanted to talk about astrology. So yes, the next Sabbath that's coming up is Imbolc, or Gwyl Mare, as we call it. You could also call it Gwyl Ffraid, the Feast of Breed. And there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, of course, now, about Breed and her healing wells and all the kinds of things that would be connected to this Sabbath.
Yeah, wonderful thing is you can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Right, but each tradition kind of has their own thing that they focus on.
For sure.
And for us, we think about the stirring of spring and the earth waking up, and the snow melting, because we live in a place where we have vibrant season changes. And I think looking at the astrology, that the new moon and Gwyl Mare are so close together. So we have the Rowan lunation, and then like 3 days later we have fir, because fir is the tree for Imbolc or Gwyl Mare. So we have Rowan, we have fir, and we have quite an interesting planetary thing happening. And I'm going to predict that February is going to be quite transformational, that they're going to lift a lot of the restrictions, and that it's very possible that the virus in February will be deemed an endemic.
Endemic? I guess that's the way pandemics end, isn't it?
So I think there'll be...
We ain't going to eradicate it.
No. But I think we'll kind of reach that herd immunity kind of thing. And I think restrictions will be lifted, and I think it'll be a good step towards getting our lives back.
Normality.
I don't know if we'll ever be normal again.
I don't think we were ever normal in the first place, you and I, to be honest.
But there's some really interesting stuff when you look at the astrology for the month. So we hear words in astrology and we maybe don't quite understand what they mean, right? And Anton and I are starting our astrology class next Sunday. So we would take some more people if you do want to sign up.
But got to do it now.
Yeah,
because we got to order books and all that sort of stuff. So don't hang about. If you've been pithering and pondering, ponder no more. Pither no more. So, anyway, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. So one of the words that we hear in astrology is that the outer planets, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, are generational. Because what happens with their movements kind of governs or predicts or guides, or whatever other word you want to use, a generation, a period of time.
Okay.
And the furthest planet out, Pluto, is very much like that, because it can be in the same sign
for years.
Right, from between 10 to like 26 years, because its orbit is elliptical.
Oh yeah.
Rather than circular. So it might go quickly through this sign, and then as it's going it
take a while, ellipses, it's traveling at the same speed, it's just going further away.
Right. So we have to look at the archetype of Pluto. And archetype, I think the best way to look at that is to think about the elements and to also think about mythology, right? So all these planets became the basis for myth. What are they doing? How are they doing it? And they became a basis for myth. So Pluto is the destroyer creator, right? So Pluto is kind of known as Hades. And if we were looking for a female energy to put with Pluto, we would think Kali, right? So it's going to change something in a big way. But it's not just going to obliterate. It's going to change something in a big way. It's going to teach us to look at that in a different way. And then it's going to create something even better by what we learned through looking at how to rebuild that. So that's its kind of its job, its role. And when we look back in time, we can see that they discovered Pluto during the Great Depression.
Really? Well, yeah, I suppose you would require modern instruments, wouldn't you? Because it's not visible to the naked eye. So until somebody pulls out some kind of,
So when they
telescope.
discovered Pluto, they gave it to Scorpio, and they said, these are because they looked at what's happening at the time of discovery, right? It's marking and saying, "This now, why have I come to you now? What do you know about what's going on, and how would you?" Yeah. So Scorpio, that place in astrology is very difficult to understand, right? It's psychism, death, taxes, other people's money. That house is crazy.
Jolly joy, fun stuff.
But look what was happening. All right. And then as Pluto moved, right, because they may have discovered it in one sign, but it moves, obviously.
Well, it's going to make a tour as it goes around the sun. It has to go through all of the signs of the zodiac, doesn't it?
So now, in the 40s, it moves into Cancer.
Okay.
And that was a time of women taking power, right? The men are away at war. The women are going into the factories. The women are taking care of the household and mowing the lawn and doing all these things that...
Rosie the Riveter.
Right.
We can do it!
And then what did we say about Leo? I am an actor, right? Pluto moves into Leo. Television is invented.
Oh, aye.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Pluto moves into Virgo.
You think about it.
Right? So what does Virgo do? It analyzes. Pluto moves into Virgo.
Well, everybody needs a shrink now.
Everybody needs a therapist. I have Pluto in Virgo. Yeah.
That's it.
And you see it move into Libra. We had Generation X, that kind of androgynous Generation X. Pluto moved into Scorpio. That same year, the Columbine kids started shooting each other.
Bad business. Though.
Yeah.
Bad business.
Pluto in Sag, we saw travel become huge. The world shrunk. And right now, we're at the tail end of Pluto in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is the merchant banker.
Oh.
And there has been such a focus on
cryptocurrencies?
Money. Cryptocurrency, the euro.
Non-fungible tokens, whatever they are.
All kinds of stuff going on with banking and fiduciary things and stocks and how they should be dealt with, or, build back better. If that's not a Pluto and Capricorn thing, there's just
It's infrastructure, isn't it? Definitely.
Right.
Honestly,
Saturn.
This country could use some infrastructure, to compete better.
Saturn rules Capricorn. So that is that structure. Sit down. This is what you're going to learn. This is all about time. Right? So we have to look at the ruling planet of the sign too.
Yeah, the whole restriction and difficulty and
you're
dragging your feet a little bit, to try and get stuff done.
Right.
Oh, isn't this illuminatory? When
it's
you think
written in the
about
stars if you know how to read it. So in the beginning of 2020,
yes,
Pluto and Saturn came together, conjunct in Capricorn.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it's when the pandemic began. And when you look back in history for that conjunction, you can find it in the 1500s, announcing the Black Plague. You can find it in 1914, announcing World War I. You can find it in the 1980s, announcing the AIDS epidemic. So it's all that kind of energy.
It severely curtails. Not progress is the word. What I'm trying to say, it's like some millstone, almost lodestone around your.
You've got to take it down and figure out a way to rebuild it. So what we're looking at now with what's going on with Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, that could get ugly because of this era, right? But I think that things are going to be a lot better because Saturn has moved into Aquarius, so it's not moving with Pluto right now. However, February, Mars, the planet of war,
oh dear,
is in Capricorn. And it will hit Pluto directly. And It's traveling with Venus. So all that we value, all that we love, all we're passionate about. There's a lot of things you could associate with Venus.
Why can't we just bloody get on? What?
Money, health. There's a lot of things you have to take this picture now of Mars, the planet of war, Venus, the planet of value and love. So you've got war, passion, drive, physical body energy, love, emotions, what we truly care about. Destroy, learn, recreate. That's in this mix of all in Capricorn. And all of those things in Capricorn have that Saturn influence now because Saturn rules Capricorn. So I do think that there is great opportunity to restructure. And I think that this spring is going to be very mild weather-wise as well. So I think we're going to have a very mild February weather-wise, where things are allowed to grow because there's a lot of that learning and growing happening.
Okay.
I just there's so much I could say.
Well, Imbolc is technically, this is the thing when we do our Craft of the Wise course, Imbolc or Gwyl Mare, Gwyl Ffraid, the festival of breed in her motherly aspect, if you will. It's very much about
Wake up, Mother Earth.
Wake up, Mother Earth. That's actually what we do as part of our ritual. We bang the floor and, on the home, probably some groundhog that was living under the annex or what the hell's going on? That's it. Yes, well, there's where the tradition of what's his name, Puxatany Phil
or something. I don't know.
We wake up our own groundhog.
It's horribly cruel.
It is. But it's you have to understand there's this period of lag. All right, so for some reason in Muggledom, we think winter starts December 21st. It's not. That's the winter solstice. That's the longest night. That's the shortest day. That's the sun has hit the wall, so to speak, and
we call that midwinter's day, not.
Astronomically, it is midwinter. Astronomically. And believe it or not, astronomically, Imbolc, Gwyl Mare, is the beginning of spring. And that's what your Gwylls are, feasts and firsts. So it really is the first of spring. So, yeah. Fun stuff, eh?
Yeah,
Fun times.
I think it's going to be mild, but
I've noticed the shadows are shrinking.
And the birds sound different.
They do. They bloody do.
They know.
They do sound different. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. And I've seen more blue jays than normal this time of year.
Today I was treated to seeing a blue jay and a cardinal together.
Oh, they're cute.
So gorgeous. That beautiful, vibrant red and the blue. So, yeah.
They're showy birds, aren't they, blue jays?
So, one of the things that we think about with Saturn is gravity. Being held down, right?
Yes. Well, restriction, definitely.
And I have said to, I'm going to get a little political, I guess, now because it's been politicized, but I have said to a couple of people who've said, I don't believe in COVID. I said, well, it's real whether you believe it or not, kind of like gravity.
Yeah.
But again, we have to look at words, and words that are similar to gravity is to understand the gravity of this energy, or the gravitas.
Gravitas, there's a word for you.
So Saturn has been playing a very predominant role, right? We had Saturn conjunct Pluto in the beginning of 2020. We had Saturn conjunct Jupiter at solstice in 2020, that grand conjunction. And now we've had Saturn move into Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is finally here. And I've pointed these things out as we've gone along. So Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So Saturn is now in one of the signs it rules, and it's also speaking to or informing all of the planets that are in Capricorn, which, by the way, Mercury will be in Capricorn half of February.
She has got some kind of coded scribble sheet here with glyphs and numbers and yeah, you're supposed to wonder. Yeah, show them. Can you figure that out? This is the way my wife's mind works. Okay.
But this is what I do every month to bring you these tarot scopes. So, Sun is in Aquarius for half of February. That's a Saturn-ruled planet. Sign, sorry. Mercury is in Capricorn and then it moves into Aquarius. Both of those ruled by Saturn. Venus in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Mars in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Saturn in Aquarius, obviously ruled by Saturn. Pluto in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. So we see this.
There's a lot of lessons here, and sit down, you're going to learn something.
It's like a powerful time that says, if you work hard, you will be rewarded. If you are disciplined, your discipline is going to pay out in spades. Capricorn pays out.
Yeah, this ain't easy money, though, is it?
No.
It's not
You
your Billy
will
Joel
see
easy
the
money.
gravity of the work that you do. What are you going to put in February? Because it's going to pay you out, right? We've talked about banking and currency, but it's also esoteric, spiritual, emotional, whatever energy. There's a currency payout for that, right? And, Saturn says, face the danger. Do the shadow work.
Well, denial doesn't work. It doesn't. It can work for so long, but inevitably we all have to. And coming back to what we were talking about, we all have to face the music. Face the music.
Face the music. Now,
music's all about
the
timing.
other really cool thing is there is a wild card too.
Oh, it's always a wild card.
Uranus. Right?
Oh, that is a wild card.
Oh, yeah.
Uranus is a wild card.
Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And if we had to think of a sentence for Uranus, it would be chaos, panic, and disorder. My work here is done.
It's about the size of it.
Right? It drops the other shoe.
I'll just leave this here.
It says, oh, by the way, right?
Here, sort this out, will you?
So Uranus.
There may be a snake in the bag.
Uranus kind of says, here's the extreme. I just want to say I wrote a few words about it. Uranus.
How the hell she does this? I scribbled something down.
I do. So if anybody wants to understand Uranus energy or Uranus's energy, listen to the Beatles' Revolution. Right?
Yeah.
Uranus is a revolutionary planet because it comes along and says, what you thought you saw, right?
Just tell me, honey, who do you think I am?
Right?
Yeah.
But it's also advances things through that chaos, right? It says you have to figure out how to get through this. You have to figure it out. So it announces scientific breakthroughs.
Okay, yeah.
Computers are ruled by Uranus. So the technology,
I think mine is.
technological breakthroughs, advanced knowledge, but it's fragmented like Aquarius and my little funny notes, But you got to put the puzzle pieces back together. Well,
If you can only
Uranus
find the corners, that'll be a start.
is in Taurus.
Oh, okay.
So Capricorn and Taurus are both earth signs. And during the month of February, it's going to make what's called a trine.
Trines are good. I know, yeah, triangle's good. I
Magic.
think. Yeah.
So to help you deal, we're going to have some revolutions, revolts, some freedom fighting, some advanced technology and advanced knowledge, and advanced science thrown into this mix. And I think February is going to be a generational memory.
It sounds like a Chinese curse to me. Sounds like, man, you live in
Water
interesting
tiger!
times.
No, but isn't that going to add the drama to the whole thing. So I think February is going to be, I'm going to call it Fascinating February.
Fascinating, Captain.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Okay. Here, hold my beer and watch this.
Right? So we have the announcement of spring, a mild energy, waking up Mother Earth, waking up nature, which, by the way, looking at...
Do you think we're going to wake up as a people?
Finally? I hope so, because Saturn says, pay attention to humanity, pay attention to the environment. Saturn says all that, right? So...
Yeah, all the gold you can eat doesn't work, when your planet's dying.
Right. So
really
you saw Saturn and Pluto come together at the beginning of 2020. You saw Saturn and Jupiter come together in the end of 2020. We've had so much that we've talked about through 2021. And now coming into 2022, there's some really interesting things to kind of pick through and delve into and recognize. So the taroscopes were written, and they will be up, obviously, for the first of the month. So.
Yes, I know you sent them to me yesterday. So good morning, everybody. If you haven't done so already, please do mash that like button. It helps us. I think YouTube favour those that are popular, so please make us popular.
All right, if you watch, please like.
Yes, if you're watching, please hit that like button. Right. Do it now.
So now I think it's time for card for the week, right?
Oh, yes, because we do a whole week now, don't we?
Yeah, we do a week.
We do a week. What a week there was. Hey! There are none so blind as those who will not see. Let me tell you that. So this card to me says procrastination is de rigueur at the moment. De rigueur. There may be two paths you can go by, but you've got everything weighed up so wonderfully well. You can make a decision, and if only I could see clearer, if only I had more information, but damn, I've got this blindfold over my eyes and I can't quite figure it out. If you look really closely, and you do need to look really closely, and in exactly the same way as we were talking about the hermit's eyes being closed, you can actually see her eyes peeking out below the blindfold. She can see. Also, what's going on here, she sat on this little stump, if you will, or this little throne seat or whatever, with a slack tide. Is the tide coming in, or is it about to go out? Is she going to be left high and dry? Is she going to get her feet wet? But this is a very temporary situation. It cannot remain like this. This is poop or get off the pot time, basically. But there's a waxing moon. So all in all, there is good opportunity here, but you have to, in the words of Yoda, decide you must. You must do something. And it doesn't matter, really, if you choose one over the other. It's not that important, because you can always change the road you're on. In the words of the great prophet Led Zeppelin, there may be two paths you can go by, but you can always change the road you're on. So do something is the important thing here. Procrastination, denial does not work for you. It's not serving you. You are just belaying the situation. You have to deal with it. That's my toy for the week.
My reading for this card for you for this week is prepare for the new moon. This absolutely is a waxing moon, and we know there's nothing by mistake. So prepare for this coming new moon. Prepare what you want to be creative about, because this new moon announces the year of the water tiger. Prepare what you want to be creative about. Prepare what you'd like to get done this coming February. Prepare what you'd like to look at for this coming year. But take this week in preparation to weigh things out. And whatever it is you choose to focus on, you will not be sorry. Right? When I see this card in a reading, I tell people, like Anton had said, now is the time you have to make your choices. If you pick A, you'll be happy. If you pick B, you'll be happy. But if you pick neither, you'll get nothing done and you won't be happy. So this week is about preparation, getting ready for that new moon and those announcements and all that good stuff that's coming. I think February is going to be fantastic.
Tis definitely a time for preparation.
Yeah.
Definitely. We know the full moon, which will be the Leo full moon that we come up to. Mm-hmm. We oppose one another. You may have noticed. She's Aquarius and I'm Leo, so we oppose one another in exactly the same way. That when the moon is full, that we're coming up to, well, we're getting to the new moon now, but when the moon is full, it's going to be full in Leo, and that's also known as the Barren Moon. It is not a time for planting,
preparation.
but it's a time when you make sure your machinery works.
You clean the tool shed, you sharpen your pitchfork, you
change the oil on the tractor. Whatever. It's a time for preparation because spring will be upon us faster than you can shake a stick at, and suddenly the snow's gone and the earth's thawed out, and there's the time to get your seeds.
Right now, gardeners with greenhouses are buying their seeds and planting their tomatoes, and this is a great time of preparation. It's a great time of planning.
Yes.
And be realistic with yourself. What can you accomplish in a day? What can you accomplish in a week? What could you accomplish in a month, 6 months, or for the rest of 2022? What are your dreams? Pisces is the dreamer. What are your goals? Leo is the goal reacher.
Leo's very aspirational.
They got this great endurance. They'll just keep going. So what do you want to do? What do you want to create? What do you want to make the maximum energy from? And just focus there, and you'll see there will be a payout if you put in the energy, right? Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn. Saturn says, here's your courage, here's your strength, here's time. Use it wisely.
Use that time wisely. Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, that's you look at the uber rich. One day to be uber rich, but the uber rich have got a problem. They're time poor, and that's the one thing they want more of is time. But you can't buy time. You can't buy time. But we've all given the same 60 minutes every hour. It's up to us what we do with that. And time spent in preparation, these are wise words. Time spent in preparation is never time wasted.
No.
It's not. It's like you plan, you prepare, you work things out. We've actually, the last few days, we've been doing a hell of a lot of that.
Right, you noticed that we worked on our YouTube banner yesterday. I wrote tarot scopes yesterday. We've had meetings, and it's funny because we run our business together, we do have management meetings where we say this and this and this and this, and we want to look at this way, and this has to be done that way, and we can be very professional with each other. We
if we don't fight like cat and dog, we can.
Well, sometimes, but that's.
But we're passionate people, and we approach everything with a deal of passion. So the occasional disagreements there, we've never come to blows over it.
Oh no, but sometimes we it's my way, but again, you have to have that compromise. You understand it. Lisa and I come at things completely opposite. We oppose one another. We've got, I don't know how many points of opposition we have in our astrological charts, but you look at it and it's like, what the hell? It's like, if you want a dead opposite, that's it. I'm brash and loud, and she's demure and pretty and quiet. Sometimes. I'm not quiet. But I it's funny because when he's really angry, he will be loud. And if I'm loud, I'm not that angry. When I'm quiet, that's what he's talking about.
If you see her eyes change colour.
Oh, the outside ring of my eye will turn a little bit purple. And if that turns a little bit purple...
Run, hide, save yourself now. That's
and I start speaking like this, very slow and quiet. Run.
Start sharpening her knife.
No, but it takes an awful lot to get me into that place.
Yeah,
anyway.
No, we're pretty good. We are pretty good. But
all right, so prepare. Make your little list.
Definitely.
What are you going to do for the new moon? Maybe you're going to rewatch the prosperity ritual. Maybe you're going to rewatch the healing ritual, and maybe you're going to pull in that energy. You're going to give the gift to yourself.
Indeed.
Of time to do those two rituals. Maybe that's something that you want to accomplish for the new moon. You're going to do those 2 half-hour rituals. And what is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to do? What do you think you could take advantage of in the month of February? So it's really the time to dig in, to prepare. Part of the ritual for Gwyl Mare is preparing Breed's bed.
Mm-hmm.
And look, we have that saying, make your bed because you're going to lay in it. What are you going to make your bed with this month?
I remember the conversations we had when we were putting. It just happens to be one on the table here. So when we were putting this together, when we were describing the rite for Gwyl Mare, for Imbolc, so we had to persuade our editor, look, this is straight up fertility ritual.
There's nothing we can do that's binary
it's
here.
It's not non-binary or non-gender specific, because it really is fertility. I mean, that's what it is. It's about fertilizing the earth,
Right.
and yeah,
So we have a
fecundity
pine
coming
cone,
from there.
a pine cone on the end of the stick,
Ooh.
which represents the god or the phallus, and the guys chant and vibe that all up, and then they come over to Breed's bed and insert it. There's not much we could do to make that gender neutral.
Years.
But again, we don't have anything against
Oh hell no, no.
LGBTQ. It's
Not-
just
not
that
even
the
the least.
rituals are about a vessel and form and force, right? You have this seed that's put into a place to gestate. It's god and goddess. It does not really about a person's personal preference. It's about the earth and water and the fire and air and the life of the sun and the story of the moon. And it's not about people per se in their physical form.
It's true. So there's universal energies, form and force,
Chalice and blade.
Absolutely. But gosh, no, we don't care what team you bat for. It's totally fine. You don't even have to bat. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's totally fine. We've got you're more than welcome, and we embrace every aspect of humanity.
Right.
However it chooses to identify or present itself. We just love people. That's really for the most part we love people.
Well, no, I love humanity. I hate people. That's also an Aquarian trait, but anyway.
But yeah, no,
All
but when it comes to craft, then really, there are certain fundamentals, and those are the fundamental principles.
And
you need
again,
masculine,
we have this
feminine,
word archetype,
form and force, and masculine and feminine, and chalice and blade, and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
But there's even
Breed's
in
bed.
our own mythology, there are role reversals. I mean,
Absolutely.
certainly Gwydion takes on the role of mother, and in fact, Gwydion and his brother Gwyl Ffraid are actually sentenced as part of their their misbehaviour and
they're transformed.
They're transformed into a breeding pair. So and they switch around, play switch up. So. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. But I've always said, I don't know if you guys have ever seen. Is it Life of Brian? I think where the Jordanian People's Popular Front are all meeting together, and there's one who's always complaining. He's got to do this, got to do that, got to do the other. And so I have the right to be pregnant. Where's the fetus going to gestate? Reg in a shoebox. Well.
Now, wasn't that the meaning of life?
I think it's the Life of Brian. Anyway, listen, if you guys know, tell me, because I know nothing.
Python's not my favorite thing.
People are much for me. Big crowds. Yeah. No, we love our own.
We stay in our own private
Idaho.
Idaho with a shop.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah, we do that. So, but yeah, it's all good. I think there's I feel a quickening. I do feel a quickening out there. I think spring will be upon us before we bleed and know it.
I think it's going to be beautiful and mild for the month.
Time to prepare is now. Yeah, let's take that lesson of the Two of Swords, which is the card for the week. You've got to get off your ass.
Take the lesson of the Two of Swords. Take some time to look up what Rowan is. Take some time to look up fur. Take some time to look up about the Sabbat that's coming. Imbolc. Gwyl Mare. Take some time to think about what the Aquarius New Moon might be. Put all that together, even if you don't aren't astrologically savvy for everything else. And plan. Make a plan. Saturn wants you to have a plan.
Saturn is all about planning, really. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's true.
that's
All
the
right,
long and the short of it. All right, well, I suppose that's probably us then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've whittled on. If you haven't mashed that like button, please do so. Do it now. Don't procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate. Mash that like button.
And please do subscribe and share.
Yeah, tell people
Get people
about us.
to go and join our channel, because that would help us greatly.
It
help
would.
us greatly.
It would, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We would. We have, plans for world domination. But first, we have to be better known. That's all
Well,
it
that's
is.
the thing.
That's the key for us.
And I know that money is not something that people have a tremendous amount of. And
unless you have a tremendous amount of money.
And time may not be something you have a tremendous amount of, but if you could subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever, it only takes a few seconds, and it does help us build our profiles.
Keeps
So
the flow going.
Please help us.
Keeps the flow going.
All right.
All right.
Thank you all very much.
Yes.
Have you done your editing and
don't
whatever?
need to.
All right.
It all works perfectly now. So he said famous last words. It all works perfectly now. He said, cutting everybody off. Where the hell are we? We're supposed to be
In a
I
Mercury
know.
retrograde.
That's where I am. This is
Oh,
where
that's
we're
the
supposed to
other
be.
really cool thing.
Oh, what? There's more. Oh, wait, there's more.
Mercury will go direct on the 2nd, and then all the planets will be direct in February.
I don't know if that's a good thing. It might be.
Oh, we're going to get shit done. All right.
She swore! Oh my.
All right.
All right. Well,
Peace
listen,
and
thank you
blessings.
so very,
Thank you,
very much
everybody,
for
very
watching.
much.
Have an amazingly wonderful week, and we'll see you, if the snow ain't too deep and the gods are willing, we'll see you on Wednesday evening for our live readings.
Yep.
So, all being good. All right. Thank you so